Hiya! Welcome! Here we are, back once again, like a renegade master, or rather, with Records Roundup 104. Fair bit to show you today. Don't think this is going to take too long, famous last words, as there's not a lot in the way of coloured vinyl, and as you know, or certainly long-time viewers of the series know, when it's just black vinyl and the album's new and sealed, I don't tend to spend too long looking at the actual discs or anything, if at all. Anyway, we'll see how we get on, as there's still some interesting things to see, so please stick around for that. And we'll start with, I was going to say a couple of CDs, and it is, but it's actually a CD slash DVD, and a 7-inch single, all from the same Discogs marketplace seller. This order was from Green Hell in Germany, who I have used before. I ordered some Bushido CDs from that particular company via the Discogs platform. And yes, it's Bushido again that I'm going to show you first of all. This is his early-ish, well, yeah, pretty early demo tape, King of Kings, or demo album, mixtape, whatever you might want to call it. This is a reissued version. Quite expensive, this, actually. Although this is an uncensored version. I think it's been reissued at least a few times, and at least one of those reissues, probably more, has had to have tracks taken off it because of the laws regarding censorship and selling explicit material to minors in Germany. I think this was getting on for about €30 this, so the whole order here was quite expensive, but it's the third item that I really wanted. And then when I saw that there was a couple more Bushido albums that I hadn't already got, I of course have covered Bushido in more detail in a couple of videos quite recently. Go back into the Misc VC and Music Unboxings playlist for those. But that is King of Kings with a Z. And also we have Zeiten anden dich live durch Europa. DVD, but it has got the live album in it as well, but it's in a DVD style case. Nice kind of almost take on the Super Jewel case packaging that I've had a lot of Bushido albums in, with these rounded edges. I've got a Rammstein DVD from a similar era that's packaged like this as well. There we have the live DVD, which I wasn't massively bothered about, but I have got previous other Bushido live albums, so I figured I wanted the CD. This was cheap, this was probably something like €4 or €5 this, so might as well have added it to the basket. I'm not really going to spend awful long on Bushido because most of his tracks are difficult for me to pronounce as an Englishman, and people don't really know him in English speaking countries anyway, but I'm glad to add a couple more things to my Bushido collection. There's still one or two other bits that I would like. Either they're very expensive or I've just not got round to getting them yet, but we'll see how we get on over the coming weeks and months. And the last item, and really as far as this particular order of three things goes, this was the big ticket one, because I've been after this 7-inch single for about, I don't know, 4 or 5 years now, and I've finally been able to get it. It was still expensive, but I think it was as cheap as I could ever find it. It is Mathematik by Lindemann, and it features a German rapper, funnily enough, and I'm going to butcher his name, Haftbefehl. Mathematik was a track from the second Lindemann, not Till Lindemann, but Lindemann the Duo album, F und M. This version of the track is, I suppose, exclusive to this single version, the one that features Haftbefehl. I think this copy here, it was well over €40, but I've used Green Hell before. I trusted them to deliver this safely along with the other Bushido items. I think it's just standard black vinyl this, but we will have a look. It's got a big old 18 certificate on it. I'm assuming that's a take on German certification anyway. Oh, and there's something else in here. Oh, it's a little Suppose it's a bit like kind of one of those mail-in postcards you used to get in CDs and stuff, but it's obviously not card, it's glossy paper. I think it's got the lyrics on it, so yeah, kind of like a bonus little insert there really. So I'm glad I spotted that. Certainly didn't spot it when this came in the post the other day. Till Lindemann has got a live album coming out later this year. It's coming out on many different formats, so as someone who, with him being Rammstein related, I do like to get his albums on CD and vinyl. The singles, I'm just happy with those on vinyl, to be honest. But the albums, I like to get on both formats. I need to really pick and choose carefully, and I think I know which formats I'm going to go for, assuming the availability of them when the time comes for me to be able to pre-order, because it's kind of confusing to pre-order Till Lindemann and also Blutegel, as they share the same label out of line these days. You have to do it via kind of a third party, which I have talked about before, and I feel I'm getting into too much detail with it now anyway. So anyway, that was Lindemann and the German rapper guy with Mathematik.
Fix sie richtig. Ich wollte nie zur Schule gehen. Ich wollte lieber Fernsehen sehen, statt blöde Summen zu addieren, zu subtrahieren und zu dividieren. Das Gerechne kann man sich schenken. Warum soll ich denn noch so viel denken? Wozu sich noch mit Zahlen quälen? Es gibt doch Maschinen zum Geld zählen. Fick, 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 Mathematik. Fick, 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 fick sie richtig. Fick, 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 Mathematik. Algebra ist gar nicht wichtig. Fick, 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 Mathematik. Fick, 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 fick sie richtig. Fick, 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 Mathematik. Algebra ist gar nicht wichtig.
Here's a pickup that I was really pleased got announced. I just had an email, I don't know, a month and a half ago, telling me that this was getting a repress on standard black vinyl. It was an album that came out for Record Store Day last year, so 2025, and it was one that I missed out on, and I was quite disappointed about it. Not massively so, as there was another one I'd missed out on, and I've talked about that, and I was more disappointed about that. But I was quite sad that I didn't get this, but I kind of figured, I've got a feeling that might get a repressing eventually, and over a year later it did. So from Townsend Music, or really Madness's own band store, we have Take Cover. So the original Record Store Day edition from last year, I think, was out on red vinyl, but there's no difference regarding the tracks. It's a covers compilation. It covers, pun intended, a lot in Madness's career from the late 70s till at least the 2000s, I think here, maybe even later than that. In fact, does it say on the hype stick, it says 40 years of cover versions, so yeah, it's probably quite recent actually, the newest track on here. Happy to have that. It's black vinyl, as I say, so I've not got it unsealed, but really, really pleased to have got Take Cover finally from Madness.
Your princess are trying to keep me down, trying to drive me underground, and they think that they have got the battle won. I say forgive them, Lord, they know not what they've done. So as sure as the sun will shine, I'm gonna get my share now. What's mine? And then the harder they come, the harder they fall, wanna know. They say the harder they come, harder they fall, wanna know. I'm gonna fall, everybody.
So how are your sweet and sour super noodles then? Oh, give us a try. Oh, come on, I just want a little taste.
No.
Oh, Moody.
Look, I hate it when you do this. I offered to make you some. You said no, all right?
Well, I'm not hungry. I just want a little taste. Just a...
No.
Ooh.
Yeah, look, you'll finish them off if you like.
Oh, David, are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh, you really love me, don't you?
Yeah.
Bachelor's Super Noodles. Because noodles can be super, can't they?
This next pickup is from an artist who I do collect, albeit quite sporadically. Yet, I would say this is certainly an impulsive pickup. It's from Flashback. I got it with a DVD box set that is nothing to do with music or music collecting, but it's something that I can't wait to show you in an upcoming DVD collecting video, as I think it was an absolute steal at £15, but more on that in the future. But I added this to the basket. This was £40 for a double album. It was in Flashback's summer vinyl sale, where they say things have got up to 50% off. So I looked at the price of this in the sale, £40, and then I kind of compared other prices on Discogs, and I don't know what the percentage is that Flashback took off this, but I imagine it was probably something like 20 or 30%, but I still think at £40, to be honest, this was quite a good deal. I'm talking about Egypt Station by Paul McCartney. So I wasn't expecting to own this anytime soon. It was his album from, and it says on screen, but I think it was 2018. And this version here is a one-time pressing, apparently, according to the entry on Discogs. And we'll have a closer look at it in a moment. I've never heard this album. I don't think it's had quite the unanimously positive reviews that his latest album, The Boys of Dungeon Lane, seems to have. And I'm not even sure this is particularly preferred to McCartney 3 either, but I don't know. I like Paul McCartney. I'm certainly a massive Beatles fan, but I don't tend to deep dive into other people's opinions on all the work he's done. I mean, I don't own hardly any of his work in the grand scheme of things. I'm just trying to collect Paul McCartney and Wings albums very slowly, really. Lovely cover, this. I mean, based on a painting that Paul has, I think. So it opens like a concertina, and this is where I need to be careful because it's kind of basically a trifold sleeve, but done concertina style. And every time I open a trifold sleeve in a video, I seem to cause chaos. I will show you the discs as well, because both LPs are different colours, if I can do it safely. Anyway, I think we've got a download code there. That may have been used, but feel free to try it anyway, with this being a pre-loved item from Flashback. Disc 1, I think this is disc 1 anyway, LP 1 is a nice 180 gram, this feels like orange. Oh, and it did come with a hype sticker as well on the cellophane, but when I took the cellophane off, this kind of slipped off and it isn't sticky at all. Second disc is blue vinyl. So do let me know your thoughts on Egypt Station if you're familiar with it, as I'm not even certain there's one track on here that I've heard, but I figured, you know, I've got all of Paul's early work, solo / Wings, up till the latest half-speed master, which was Venus and Mars, I think, if I'm remembering rightly. And I've got his last two studio albums, McCartney 3, Dungeon Lane. This bookends those, I suppose. I've also got Flaming Pie, but A, that's more of like a deluxe box set, and B, I've got a lot of fondness for that album, stemming back from when I heard all the singles off it in the 90s. But anyway, that is Macca's Egypt Station. Alright, now on to a similarly massive solo artist, one who I've covered on the channel from time to time, not particularly recently, because Up until today, I made the decision that I wouldn't be collecting any of her albums after the year 2000, but I've changed my mind. Mostly out of curiosity. It's just an album here, and I got 10% off this order. There's actually two things by this artist from Juno Records, and I got this and the following record with a little bit of money off. And with this album here from Madonna, I've just been very curious about it for many years now, and I figured, well, you know, I've got music, this being American Life, of course, the follow-up to Music from 2000. This is 2003. I know this got negative reviews at the time, and I have always been curious about it. Yes, I know curiosity killed the cat. Do you remember them? Guy with the beret, Ben Volpierre Piero, I think his name was. But it was originally a cliche, a phrase. Anyway, I'm going off tangent here, but I know I could have streamed it, you know, YouTube or wherever. I am a Madonna collector for the 80s and 90s. If you can call them recent releases, which they are, but they're of old work. I've also got the Bedtime Stories Untold Chapter EP and the Veronica Electronica EP from around the Ray of Light era, because they fit alongside those albums for me from the 90s. But I always said I wasn't really interested in getting any more Madonna after the year 2000's music, but this may mean, and I'm not going to be in any rush to do so, but this may mean I might try and fill some more Madonna holes now I've got American Life after all these years. It does feature Die Another Day, which feels like a bit of a tack-on track rather than one that was recorded specifically for this album. And as we know, it was actually the James Bond theme from the film of the same name. And I'm familiar with a couple of the other singles on here, certainly, but I wanted to hear the whole thing. So that is American Life.
Riding in your car in Hollywood, you got the top down and it feels so good. Everybody comes to Hollywood, they wanna make it in the neighborhood. They like the smell of it in Hollywood. How could it hurt you when it looks so good? I lost my memory in Hollywood. I've had a million visions, bad and good. There's something in the air in Hollywood. I tried to leave it, but I never could. Shine your light now. This time it's got to be good. You get it right now, yeah. 'Cause you're in Hollywood.
And also, as I thought, in for a penny, in for a pound, and I got 10% off thanks to someone using my Juno referral code. And please check the description text box if you would like to use that code. It gets you 10% off your first order at Juno, who are excellent, by the way. I always highly recommend them, and it gives me a 10% off kickback as well. But I thought I'd get the accompanying EP that only came out for Record Store Day in 2023, this, the American Life Mix Show Mix, and it honours Peter Rauhofer. In similar veins to the Bedtime Stories Untold Chapters and Ray of Light Veronica Electronica EPs, this kind of mixes done at the time that remained unreleased, at least officially, or certainly on a vinyl format, for quite some years afterwards. In fact, there's an asterisk there saying which tracks were previously unreleased. So I dare say the ones, and I think there's only two on here that were previously released. I'm assuming they probably featured on CD singles or 12-inch singles maybe. But I figured with American Life, I might as well get this as well. So the next Madonna album in the chronology is Confessions on a Dance Floor, which is now, I suppose, known as Confessions Volume 1, as her brand new album, as of 2026, is Confessions 2. That has come round on a discount every so often, so I'll wait for that and see if it comes around, and that does get good reviews from Madonna fans online who I've spoken to. So perhaps I'll pick that up, but I don't want to pay full price for it, like I didn't want to pay full price for American Life. But there we go, some Madonna editions. We can stick with a record store day pickup, but we go forward in the timeline to this year, and this was one of the albums for Record Store Day 26 that was in my maybe section of my want list. It was one of those that I wasn't going to knock my pipe out to get it on the day, or on the day of the online sales, I should say, but I would wait for it, and if it had some money off it somewhere, I'd pick it up after the fact. And it did have some money off. I think this had £10 off from Bear Tree Records in Sheffield. I used them to get one of my RSD pickups this year. Can't remember which one it was, but I know I used them for one of them. If you go back to Records Roundup 99, I think, is my Record Store Day special. But this is OMD's Archive Volume 1, brackets 1981 to 1990. This is black vinyl again. It's one of these where I think you really have to either try and carefully peel this sticker off or just sort of slice down it to actually get in the thing here. But nice sort of foil sleeve here that's no doubt showing up all kinds of light and reflections on camera. Double album, first time on vinyl for this, but it was part of the Souvenir Deluxe CD set that came some years previously. I'm an OMD fan and collector. It's really filling their studio album holes that I'm most interested in, and I'm waiting for more to get reissued at the moment. But other bits from them, such as this, I am interested in. Yeah, this was, I think, £25, down from £35 in Bear Tree Records' latest sale. It wasn't one that I'd seen in all the subsequent RSD sales from indie record stores, so I figured, oh, that was a popular one. And there's no copies left, but Bear Tree obviously managed to hold at least one back, and I've got it here. OMD's Archive.
She kept me waiting 4 hours later. She screams and shouts and she tells me lies, but she gets away with her steel blue eyes. I fell in love with a girl in black. She's far away but I want her back. She seldom calls and she never writes. I think of her almost every night. I surrender, I surrender, I will surrender to your love. I surrender, I surrender, I will surrender to your love. I gave my heart to a liberator, and say that love will make you greater.
Shopping used to really depress me. I used to think if only I could keep to a diet. Then I heard about AIDS and tried them. AIDS help you keep to a calorie-controlled diet. You don't eat so much at meals, and I didn't want fattening things. I enjoy shopping now because I can wear fashionable clothes. Thank goodness for AIDS.
Told you there's not much in the way of coloured vinyl here. I mean, the male opening to do very soon, that is coloured, but I think other than that, it was just the Macca album, really. But two here to show you from iMusic in Denmark. These are both, I think, something like £21.49 each, and then a bit in postage. iMusic in Denmark, another site. Even with me being in the UK, I can highly and massively recommend them because they always are so efficient and deliver stuff safely and promptly as well, to say it's coming from continental Europe. But we have the Smiths' Best One. So this and the inevitable other album to show you were reissued for the first time on vinyl in many years. I think these originally came out in 1992. Bit of a surprise that they got reissued, but happy to get these as I've not got the Best 1 and 2. They're kind of like greatest hits, but there is some deeper cuts. There's album tracks and possibly B-sides of Smith's singles on here as well. So that is Best 1. You're not going to order Best 1 on vinyl and not get Best 2 as well. This one does feature There Is a Light That Never Goes Out, which came out as a single to promote these compilation albums in 1992. Of course, it originally featured on The Queen Is Dead from 1986. There again, mixture of singles, other album tracks, deeper cuts and what have you. But just nice to have for the Smiths collection. Maybe inessential, but they've always caught my eye sort of on the aftermarket, but just been put off from the ridiculously high prices. Just great that they've been reissued in 2026 for a much more reasonable price.
Take me out tonight, because I want to see people and I want to see light. Driving in your car, oh please don't drop me home, because it's not my home, it's their home and I'm welcome no more. And if a double-decker bus crashes into us, to die by your side is such a heavenly way to die. And if a 10-ton truck kills the both of us, to die by your side, well, the pleasure, the privilege is mine.
And finally, a mail opening. This is from a Discogs seller. I've been eyeing this item up for quite a few weeks now, probably a couple of months or more. This was pretty cheap. I think it was about £18 and then a bit more in postage. Oh, I've got a flyer here from the actual record store, so I'll show you that before I show you the actual album. So this was from Five Rise Records, and they've wrote, "Thanks James," and it says, "May we take this opportunity to compliment you on your exquisite taste in music." They've never watched the channel then. Oh dear, well, if you can't laugh at yourself, what can you do? "And thank you for shopping at Five Rise Records. Sonic regards." AD, is that? I think that's AD, short for Adrian. And they're based in Bingley. They do have a website, but this album, although you can buy stuff on their website, this album wasn't on there, but it was just on their Discogs page for whatever reason. So there we go, Five Rise Records, and this came really quickly. I think they dispatched it only a couple of hours after I purchased it. So it is How to Be a Person Like Other People by Embrace. And I've already got it. I've got it on cassette. But in a similar vein to when I was buying Erasure albums on vinyl that I'd previously got on cassette, and also there was a Matt Berry album that I got on vinyl that I'd previously had on tape, but that was a very good bargain quite recently. I figured, yeah, this feels weird not having this album, which was the previous studio album to their most recent one, Avalanche, from this year. This one from 2022, and it came out in I think maybe 3 different vinyl formats. I didn't really care which one I got, I just wanted the cheapest, and this one was. And I think this is the Indie Store exclusive, so I'll get this open. I've been quite careful to open it here with the cellophane, but that isn't a hype sticker. It looks like the Five Rise Records shop sticker there, but it does have a barcode on it. Yes, this is the Indies Red edition. Good album, I know I like it, I've heard it because I've owned it on cassette, but just felt this is one to upgrade. Although, ironically, I don't own every Embrace album on vinyl now, because their first 2 I only own on minidisc, he says as he's struggling to put this back in. Whether I'll get the Goodwill Out and Drawn from Memory on vinyl, if I see them really cheap, I might as well double up, because I'm not going to get rid of the mini-disc version, certainly. Good to have that. How to Be a Person Like Other People, Embrace.
You do what you gotta do. I was always wrong, not forgiving you. These are the terms of my surrendering to you. You're not the one who fades, you're the one who'll be there till my dying
and that is Records Roundup 104. Do feel like I've kind of rushed through this, but then again, looking at the time, I've spent longer than I actually thought I would. And plus we'll have had some music clips in here as well, and other little bits for you to enjoy or endure. Maybe another one kind of a similar lengthy girth than the others. Girth. You've heard it here first. Someone describes his YouTube videos as girth. Anyway, thank you all for watching today. Special thanks go to my wonderful subscribers and generous patrons. I'm gonna go now. Lots to listen to. Looking forward to it all. I'm not gonna say any more on it because I'm gonna say my goodbyes right now and ask that you join me again next time for the next Records Roundup. And know there's some good pre-orders that I'm waiting for that should be along for the next one. And of course, join me for my next record and music collecting video. Cheers, everyone. See ya.